This podcast is rated R for restricted. Under 17 requires accompanying parent or adult guardian. Mission 250.
Welcome to the Mission 250 podcast, where we are going to never maybe watch the best 250 movies of all time. We seem to be doing a pretty good job at delaying it. And we're going to start delaying it even further by kicking off a David Lynch month. We're late to the party on this one. R.I.P. David Lynch, died recently. He's got quite the body of work, and we're going to do some selective picking of his movies. And this week we're going to start with 1986, Blue Velvet, written and directed. John has never seen it, so we're going to start with 20-second spoiler-free review with John. What do you got there, John?
Crap. Do we have to watch more of him? Because I didn't think this was very good. Maybe it didn't age well.
No.
Maybe it influenced stuff and didn't age well. And I don't know, but man, the characters reacted in very odd ways that didn't make sense. The dialogue was stilted at times. Yeah, some weird shit happened for sure. But man, I just did not connect dots in this film. I there's some pretty cool performances, some cool, interesting things. I like the cinematography, the way people would come in and out of scenes. But man, again, I'm just spoiled for other good stuff. And I just kept thinking,
blasphemy, John. Blasphemy.
I don't know, man.
Fine, but that's
20 seconds, 30 seconds, that's 35,
30, 45 seconds.
I'm done.
At least we have somebody on the other side here, TC.
Yeah.
TC, why don't you go second?
Yeah. Sure. I think he's a master at symbolism. I mean, this is an awesome story of good versus evil and what lurks underneath the depths of suburbia. And so I think this is, if you try to get into like how every single shot is selected on purpose to be symbolic for something, it's pretty damn impressive how he pulls it off.
I'm a shallow twat. That's all it is.
We already knew this, John. I think this will be good because I've read a lot about, 20 seconds. This movie is a lot scarier than I remember it. I quoted this a lot growing up like 15 years ago. And some of the lines are funny, but in the moment, they're kind of scary. Naomi actually got up and left halfway through the movie because it was so disturbing, and I don't blame her.
Wow.
The acting is all over the place, and everything is all over the place, but I think it's pretty unique, and it's really something else.
Yeah.
Hard to describe.
Yeah. It is hard to describe.
Yeah. All right.
So I was thinking,
it's good, John. There's nothing else like this. You kidding me? Come on.
Having seen Weapons, before this, I just think after he's in the closet, and he sees what he sees, I want him to come out of the closet and say, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah.
No, this is even creeper, John, because he likes it.
He said, "Yeah." He's
right,
like,
and that's
are you
that's,
okay? I'm kind of turned on right now. Let's, No, I want him to be like just, and then
this movie is like the progression of Hitchcock. It's like Rear Window, and then you have this. Rear Window, you feel like a little voyeuristic watching it. And this one is the same, but it goes like to a more perverse place.
I'm interested, and it's fascinating. And again, the performances and the characters sometimes are pretty mesmerizing.
Best Dennis Hopper performance of his life.
Right?
Holy
baby
shit.
wants to fuck.
Yeah, is that what you quote all the time, Denny? Because I can see why.
Heineken, fuck that shit. Pabst Blue Ribbon.
King of beers.
That's fair. That was a fair one.
How fucking do you think that
especially in
moves?
Boston.
I don't know if you're a detective or a pervert. That's for me to know and you to find out.
But then it's like the emotional bits seem so weird. Where like, oh, I love you. All of a sudden, those two love each other. I have no idea where that's coming from.
Well, because she represents good, the other one represents evil.
All right, okay.
And those are the two.
John, there's a lot of representing of things, not necessarily like a realistic story.
Right.
It's representing old American films and how that was covering up corrupt shit. Like the way old crime movies and old, the way people look at things in American suburbs. There's creepy ass shit going on everywhere. And no, you don't pay attention to it.
All right.
I
think I get you guys' agreement with this, right? Worst bird performance ever? Come on.
That's intentional.
Yeah. I thought that was funny.
It is?
Yes.
I had no idea. I know
everything is intentional.
Because remember at the beginning when you see all this like idyllic suburb, you see the idyllic suburb, right? They bring you into the fire truck going by, right? And then all of a sudden it goes to the grass and you see the beetles that are lurking below the grass. And that represents evil, which is what we start to learn
and
from
the horrible stuffed bird.
We're getting there, John. Shut up.
represents that.
Yeah, we're getting there.
The stuffed
Fuck's
bird.
sake. Let me go.
John, there's that whole sequence where Laura Dern is talking about how the birds
I
are
really
like
love.
representing good,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and then it shows you at the end the bird is fake.
Right. I see.
All
I
that
see.
shit, all that hope, and all that stuff that you think is there is just a fake bird
I
because
see.
it doesn't exist.
But
I'm
also,
just
the
not
bird
deep
is
enough.
eating the beetle, which means that also good will sometimes
Eat
be
the-
better than evil.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is why
I'm
he ends up with her, the good,
I'm just too
the
shallow.
good girl at the end.
I am
right?
not. I am just not.
It's all
intellectual enough.
represents.
That's
It's all
why-
symbolism. That's why.
That's why this movie
it's-
works so well, because this is my spoiler. Well, this and Eraserhead are my two favorite Lynches, just because you can show this to somebody, and there is a story on surface level, which we'll get into it, John. Sorry about this. Most of his movies don't even have the story
I think
that
I
you
would
can
feel
follow.
better with that because I get confused thinking this is going to be
That's all it is
Yeah,
the story?
The story, and if you take it at face value, it's pretty shitty and not well done and stilted and weird. And so if you take it just at face value for the story, which I just was, because I wasn't looking for depth, and I didn't, and I. That's again entirely my fault. Then it's pretty.
And
crappy.
well, the images on the image. The reason why, like for instance, the beginning, right? It's all images. You don't talk much, and so he does that a lot, where he's showing you something that, if you put it together with what's happening, in front of you, you start to understand that there's a reason why he's showing you something in that specific way, right? So
I don't know.
Like, I think so. I mean, well, like the detective being good, right? And then his daughter being like sitting on the stairs listening through the little, the banister, right? She's representing all of these things like youth and innocence and blah, blah, blah. And meanwhile,
no, but not really.
our
But-
hero,
no.
But our hero is going down the lane of terror,
really,
right?
Because
With-
it's
One
I was
person's
gonna
talking.
say,
at a time.
Jesus,
TC's
John,
going.
can you let me
TC's
fucking
going.
finish?
no, I was just sort of, but yes, but not really because
Take
at
notes.
The same
Let-
time,
let TC
Okay,
finish.
fine. I'll stop. Go.
Take notes, John. You can rebuttal after
All
TC's
right,
done with his.
Go, TC. I'm sorry.
And I mean, and like for the ear, right? The ear represents the closest thing to the brain. So when he finds the ear, he's now like diving into the evil of the world. And so that ear represents a big deal of his character now going into evil and liking it. And then realizing that he
Choosing
doesn't
to do
like
so.
it. You're right.
Yeah.
And then continues to follow that path because we're all kind of like drawn towards psychopathy. Like even if you think about it when we're watching ID Network, right? We're watching murders and we're all that stuff. Like we're fascinated with that stuff, and that's what draws him into that world is the fascination and curiosity of like, what is this crazy shit going on? And then he finds out the hard way that it's actually really, really fucked up. And that
Once you
there's-
get to the reality of these situations, which seem so glamorous in all of the media that you hear and look at through all these other things, this movie is like one of the first ones that actually shows how scary all of that crime shit is.
Right.
It actually like goes there. There's only like, I don't know, Clockwork Orange kind of goes there.
Yeah.
There are some films that get that this dark, but like the darkness of this film is, I think it's the most impactful part of it. It makes every other portion of the movie work because to me, it's kind of like, a development of the art form of the movies. This is like a step. This movie feels like a step to me of like pointing out that movies are voyeurism, and this movie is just like, it's ugly. And all of us are still fascinated with it. The kid sees the ugliness and then commits to it still. And that's like, I don't know. That's what people who like movies, it's people who like movies and then also the human condition of liking disturbing underground shit you're not supposed to like, weird sex stuff, weird drug stuff, the unknown, something interesting, in your boring ass suburban life.
Right. That's what it's all supposed to represent.
I should applaud
Now you can
that
go.
because I think that's really good. I should applaud that, but then everything seems so fake and not well done, and the emotions don't make sense, and so it seems like they're also like not even committing to any of that. So it's like, yeah, but fuck them because she's crying, but he loves him and he loves her, but that seems so phony. And so is that the idea is that this is all just fake shit anyway, including the bird, including their relationship. So it doesn't feel. It feels so then detached from anything, and if you just look at it and think of it, the story, it just seems badly fucking made. But okay, fine, it's not badly made; it's all intentional. But then everything is discredited. Their relationship's discredited. The bird, the good.
But the movie isn't about their relationship.
Yeah,
like the relationship is there for the glue, but the only reason these people are connected is through similar interests.
Yeah.
Like the Laura Dern and the Kyle MacLachlan character, they're voyeurs, and that's how they connect. And then the other two are sexual deviants, which is how they connect. So it's not that they actually like each other; it's that they have shared interests that they,
which is why they keep trying to tell you the whole time that she's in love with Mike, and for whatever reason, their similar interests, as Denny says, brings them together at the end. But throughout the movie, they're trying to say like we're not getting together because
right. Well, she's got her football player who seems like
right, and she's got her perfect idyllic football player boyfriend, and that's the reality that she wants. But that's not the reality that she really needs.
She goes and takes off with him, and her parents don't give a shit. And it's just, I mean, again, if you try to think of this as realistic actions or realistic behavior from these people, it really looks bad. It really looks fake. And
this is making me think that we should have started with a different Lynch movie, because I thought this was a good entry point. I could see what you're saying, John, but knowing how Lynch makes his movies helps you get over what you
if
see
you
to
miss
have
all
as
the
an
symbolism,
issue in this movie.
you're going to be in a rough spot.
I am stupid. I missed it all.
Right.
So I did.
So that's funny, because if we went to a harder Lynch movie first, then maybe you would have been like with your lookout would have been more.
Yeah, maybe because I'm so used to seeing.
I mean, you've seen Twin Peaks, right?
Not the television show. No, I'd like to. I mean, certainly must be.
You haven't seen any. What Lynch have you seen?
I saw Dune, of course. Which
that's the least Lynchian one. That and Elephant Man are the two least
right. We saw
Lynchian
Elephant
ones.
Man together.
Oh, if you watch Twin Peaks, so I see coming from the lens of Twin Peaks, where it's all fucking all over the place and crazy and weird.
It sort of helps.
Yeah, you kind of set the standard of what he knows or what he does.
And I guess that's fair. Watching this, where like you said, maybe it's a mistake in a sense. You think it's an entry point because it has a coherent story, but then I try to treat it as a coherent story. And in treating it really falls apart. It really looks just not realistic or not acted well, or it just. I mean, there are still parts that are really striking and frightening, sure. But if I'm trying to treat this as a normal story told by a normal person, even if it's good and even if it has some symbolism, it doesn't work. And so maybe
I think that's the point,
do
right?
need
That is the suburbia life,
right?
That it isn't all fucking perfect and great. Yeah. And it's supposed to get you to feel like, wow, this is actually not great.
That's fine, but to have that, to really, at least, again, if I'm treating this like a normal story, to really have that impact me, I need to feel like these people are real, that they're acting in real ways, and they are not.
You're not going to get that in Lynch.
I know, okay.
Yeah,
right. But
because everything he does is to show you something that you're supposed to connect the symbolism to.
And that's fine. But I'm just saying that's why for me, it's like a big miss. And maybe if I watch these other ones, I can think.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like sitting there trying to I
think it's great.
I don't. That's fine. But I don't.
I think it's a fucking masterpiece.
I thought it was a masterpiece. I thought it was really good. It's a really weird movie, but it's really damn good. And when you understand what he's trying to go for, it all makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know.
And I thought even just the story wise, I've seen this a few times, but not in a long time. I thought this was really upsetting. Throughout the movie, it was actually upsetting in a horror movie kind of way, and I kind of like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you'd consider this horror or not, but there are some scenes that are legitimately terrifying. Some of the Dennis Hopper stuff is like nightmare inducing. Even one of the coolest scenes in this movie, one of the most memorable ones, is when that weird dude that has all these old fat ladies at his house, with like a kidnapping house.
Yeah, the clown.
And their whole gang of people come over, and he tells them to sing. Yeah. That scene is amazing. It gives me chills because it has a feeling of classic cinema coming out of it, but at the same time, what is the situation they're in? It's so fucking weird. And then Dennis Hopper, that one shot of the guy singing and dancing to the crowd, and Dennis Hopper is just basically standing, staring at him with his mouth open. It's so fucking crazy.
That was probably to me again the most striking scene of the film. And Dean Stockwell as Ben was just mesmerizing as he was. And I thought that was...
And that's acting? I mean, that was amazing.
Yeah,
right. That dude seemed just like that's who he was.
And the choice of song is beautiful. The song in Dreams, the way it works.
The choice of fake microphone, amazing.
Yes, exactly.
With the light, I know.
All of it. Yes, I agree. That was my favorite.
And
part
the shot composition, everything.
My favorite part of the film.
They cut back, and it's just they're distant in the background, and the room is framed. There's just so much good stuff.
And it is something I did like all the time is the way they would frame shots. And have people coming in and out of shots like that.
Again, very intentional every single time.
I definitely liked how that was done quite a lot. I like how, I don't know if, I'm sure there's other directors who do this a lot, but I like how he seems to like set the scene first and then have people come in and out of it, sort of like it's like you're sort of there and people are then arriving kind of, and it's like the camera is sitting there. But yeah, it's really I really sort of like that a lot. I guess I'm sure a lot of people
because the rooms are characters,
right? Like a Wes Anderson thing, right? It's like a composition
Yeah.
there that people are coming in out of, So, but I agree that was really striking, and that was a really like brave performance in the sense by Dean Stockwell. I mean, he said very little at first and just conveyed this, and I love like Dennis Hopper too. It's like. It was a fun thing because Dennis like, you're so slob. And I'm like, you're fucking right.
Yeah.
He really is.
Yeah.
But then he's like, he seems like he's in a lot of drugs or something, and he just doesn't care. He's just like,
I know.
I give two shits what's going on right
but
now.
I still look pretty cool, or just at least look like, Anyway.
And I mean, that's the scary underbelly of any suburbia is the drug use and how no one talks about it. And
Sure.
sort of like how out of control people are that live in that world. And they're right next door to you in your local neighborhood.
And I think this, I really want to like that idea of like you were saying, we glamorize this stuff without really seeing how awful and dirty and just messed up it is. So we glamorize it all the time. Like when we get to The Godfather, we can see that all the time. We glamorize this sort of like crime lifestyle or people with power or people who are strong. And so we don't, but to do that so I'm trying hard so to do that, to then also see that there's still an attraction and to show that in your main character that he still has an attraction to this. He's seeing this horrible, like he's like witnessing the thing that happened while he's in the closet, and he's like, I'm kind of interested in all this. I'm not like coming out, what the fuck was
She's
that?
damaged because her husband is kidnapped and her kid is too, but I'm going to have sex with her because I'm a little horny from after watching that rape.
But,
yeah.
I mean, also she's into it still somehow too. Like she likes being hurt.
Right.
So,
well, I mean, kind of, but I mean, she could just be wanting to be saved or something like that. She's just
she wants him to hit her though. I mean, she doesn't, there's no function for him hitting for Jeffrey to hit her and her asking him to hit her. There's no function there other than that she's just so messed up. She likes the pain.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
So, I don't know, man. I'm trying.
Underworld. I mean, this movie portrays an underworld unlike anything else. Yeah. And it really upset a lot of people. Like John, I think the upsetting portion is why I think it's good. And I think that when this movie first came out, it was not universally acclaimed. A lot of people didn't like it, and it's pretty polarizing. And most of it is due to how people walked out and stuff like that. It was
it
pushed the boundaries at the time.
What if the actors were more believable? What if the reactions and what if the interactions were more believable? Would that make this even more powerful?
I think it would make it less powerful.
Yeah.
Because it just seems it just
when the scary stuff hits.
Yeah.
It seems more realistic.
But the relationship between Jeffrey and Sandy just seems so fake. And I guess I don't know if that's the point, but it just seems so artificial. And on one hand, I could see it as
starts that way for sure because she just like randomly comes out of the shadows.
It ends artificial too because I love you. No. It just seems that came from nowhere and it seems like bullshit. But maybe that's the point: is that this stuff is.
It's the contrast.
It's the contrast. Yeah. Exactly right, Denny. That's the whole point: is showing the contrast from how awful that other world is to how clean cut and nice some people are, and they all live in the same neighborhood.
Yeah,
and they're all cops. They're all normal people, and that's the statement.
But you still want those relationships to seem real, unless he's just.
This is how David Lynch views those relationships.
Right. I mean, but what he's saying is that's fake too. Like what he seems to be saying, then it's not,
and not just fake, but yes, a little fake, but also very performed.
Right.
I think more
superficial,
than anything.
like I guess, right?
Yes.
Like it's not like the I love you. It comes across as very like me thinking this might be a normal story. It comes across as bad writing and bad acting, but. If it's supposed to be superficial, then it is achieving that goal because it looks so superficial.
Yep.
So again,
movies don't do that because it's not realistic, right? But
true.
He's David Lynch. He does things his own way.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I figured out to tell you guys this actually made David Lynch make a lot more sense to me going through trivia on this. He is not a cinephile. He's not a movie fan. He's not a movie buff. He's an artist. He's a painter. And he started off as a visual artist, and then he got into movie making in college.
Wait,
a lot more.
Who else did that? Somebody else did that.
Kubrick was a photographer.
Kubrick, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
He was a photographer,
Yeah.
but this.
that's kind of close.
Close.
It's
I was just thinking
Yeah.
like he was just doing something artistic, but with imagery, and then ended up doing something else. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why the rules of cinema that you typically follow, that you learn in cinema school or whatever,
Yeah.
aren't abided by him because he doesn't know them and he doesn't care to. He's doing something else.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it helps me a lot. I think I still like. It's hard to like walk back from my initial reactions, to like how I felt as I watched it. So
I get it.
Yeah.
But some of that superficial shit is because of what happens when people realize how dark the world can be. You're looking for something that's other than that, and that's why he comes back.
Right.
He's like, "I love you. I need to get away from whatever the fuck I just saw. I hate that. I don't know what it is. I hate that I liked it. I know. It's all that kind of shit. And I'd rather be in this world where everything is rosy and nice. And
It's not maybe, John. It's yes. It's whether or not you like it. Is the
No. But even Jeffrey's response when he's like, "Why are there people like Frank?" That doesn't feel very real. It doesn't when he's sitting
No, it's
there.
not supposed to.
Right. So that's the thing. That's like, so yeah, you're trying to escape it, but it's like, I don't even think he's really.
You do. All right. To be fair to you, John, it took me a little while to get into Lynch. I think it does.
Yeah.
Because you have to learn to accept this. And if you don't want to accept it, then you won't ever really like him. Right.
Right.
It's you have to kind of, he's doing his own thing. He's doing it intentionally. Getting over the hump of, is he doing it intentionally, requires you to watch more than one of his movies.
It's kind of like it can be a different thing with some kinds of art where you see something and it just looks like a stupid mess. And you're like,
100%.
This is like a stupid mess.
Like
that's
Pollock.
that
I don't get it. He's throwing paint at the wall.
Some 12-year-old could have done this and felt really
John,
good about it.
But then there's some parts of the movie that is absolutely not the case. Some of the scenes in this movie are fucking some of the best scenes in a movie ever. Like the scene where he's in the closet the first time, that scene is fucking terrifying and also very memorable in horrible ways.
Yeah.
The scene with the singing, there's the scene in the car where they're taking, and he tells her to like stop. What does he say? He's like, stop yelling at her or something. And they stop the car and he huffs the stuff. His eyes, I don't know how he does that. Like when he takes the 3 huffs and then removes it, his pupils look dilated and he looks fucking crazy in that shot. There's just like, if you're a bad director, you don't get stuff like this.
It's fair. You're right. There's definitely moments like that, and it still does stand out. I mean, you got Dennis Hopper and the
scenes that are really good like that are completely segmented from the scenes that you're talking about where it feels stilted, right?
That's fair.
And they're in different parts of the movie.
Yeah.
Like the scenes where the stilted parts happen are outside.
They're back in their suburbia world. They're back in this world where like Jeffrey's trying to reconnect, and he's like, that's why he's like trying to say, why are there bad men? Like, but he doesn't. It's not really there, and that's the idea. That's him going back to this fakeness of it and trying to pretend almost maybe that
that he's not interested in seeing more.
Right. Like this wasn't a great time. Even the thrill of being in the car and getting all of that. It's like there's something to it and so that adds a whole depth that I was not getting at all.
And even the Laura Dern character, when she sees Isabella Rossellini come to his house naked, she realizes what happens, but she doesn't get that mad because she kind of understands where he's coming from.
I don't even know.
Because she also has the same kind of perversion in her and the same kind of interest, and they're not romantically involved. She's disappointed in him, but she's like, I kind of get it. This is what we're doing here, right?
This is why we started this. I got you into this. Right.
I see. That's interesting because I didn't get that at all. Didn't think about that angle at all. Just thought about this as really weird and fake. I mean, just like God, I don't even get any of this. I don't even. Yeah. So it's interesting that It's
because like
very different.
it all starts right with the damn ear. Because when he shows up at the house, she's like a little kid up on the stairs listening to the conversations, and she goes and finds him because he's like, he's into this. I want to know what happened to the ear. Why is there an ear? I want to know this. And then that's what brings them together. Instead of it being like, "Ooh, I saw you at the local coffee shop. I think you're pretty." This is much more like, "Oh, that's." Kicking off they're both of their perversions, like you're saying, Denny, and then they're not even aware of them yet. And so it's It comes right
And
to
that-
their face when she's naked on the front steps, and it's all coming out in front of everybody else. And luckily, instead of choosing the bad thing, he chooses the right thing and says, "Fuck it, I'm giving these people up, and I don't care what happens." And that's when he makes a decision not to be like them. And so, like, those things are all there. But if you're not picking up on it, then I could see it being like, "What is going on in this stupid thing?" So. You're
John's
forgiven.
learning.
You're
You're
forgiven,
learning, John. Look at that.
Trying. I guess it is. Like you said, it's not. It's defying all kinds of expectations. That doesn't necessarily mean to be a bad thing, but I wasn't ready.
Haven't you heard about Lynch, John? Come on, he's famous for a reason. This is why he does shit his own way.
You don't hear. I didn't get to have this kind of a discussion.
It's Lynchian, John. Lynchian. That's a word.
But all that meant was fucking weird and random. I didn't know. I didn't have another sense of it. And I've seen
compared to other movies,
yes,
but they have their own sense of logic. You just have to kind of figure. You have to like understand him a little bit.
Right.
And you have to pay attention to the visuals because he's setting things up intentionally every shot. So,
and when you're feeling like you're getting hit over the head with something obvious, that's intentional, and he wants you to be thinking about the obvious thing and how that affects the story that's happening, or when there's no story, the feeling that he's trying to get out of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like you said, Denny, he's an artist more so than a story writer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, and I like story too, John, I like story. That's why I like this one. Eraserhead is pretty artsy fartsy, but this one has a story. So I find it like the one I can watch the most, even though I haven't seen it in a while, but it's like, it's the easiest one to watch, even though it's scary as shit and stressful, but I my brain doesn't hurt watching it. We're going to watch some other ones and your brain might hurt.
Okay,
yeah.
fine.
And if you ever watch Twin Peaks, you'll be like, what the fuck is this? But it's still good.
At some point I do want to. I mean, I hear the first season's really good and then the second not so good or something. I don't know how it all works, but
I remember the first season.
He dips
being great.
out.
Yeah.
He dips out of the second season, but then comes back for the finale, and then they have like at least one movie.
Yeah, the Firewalk with Me. I saw that one a long time ago.
And then they have season 3, which Lynch also did, so that's supposed to be good too.
Yeah,
it's definitely out there though. And
it has
the
this
same,
kind of
it's the
acting
same
in
actor,
it, John.
It's the same actor, too, from this
and
movie.
the same kind of acting, where it's just like, I think one of the best, the lines that stand out is probably the one that John hated the most. So he's like, I found this ear in the field, and he's like, oh, an ear. Let's take a look here.
Let's
Yep,
see.
that's an ear.
That's an ear. We're gonna go, and then you're gonna tell me exactly where you found it. Yeah, that was like a pretty bad exchange of dialogue. And
pretty stilted, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but memorable in a weird way.
Yep.
That was the direction, at the very least. What is it supposed to
was
mean?
that direction?
Lynch was definitely...
David Lynch should be like, yeah, that was too natural. I want you to be fake. I want you to not seem natural. I want you to
Don't be shocked.
Yeah.
Be polite. Yeah. Be calm.
Right.
Yep.
Is that going to work? Yeah, just do it. I'm David Lynch.
Yeah, right.
I make fucking
David Lynch.
movies.
Just smile with your mouth open. Smile with your mouth open.
Happier and with your mouth open. Yeah.
That was great. For anyone who doesn't know, we're referencing Whitest Kids You Know, and it's fun.
Zach Krager was in a skit where he was playing a director,
and it's fun.
So he had practice 16 years ago.
Yeah.
I think
what else? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. As far as the story goes, I think we've covered, because you don't really need to know play by play on this one.
I thought the scene was pretty well acted when they're standing in the corridor and Dennis Hopper sees Kyle MacLachlan for the first time. He's like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
Scary.
we're going for a ride. He's like, I don't want to. He's like, you want what? Go for a ride?
Oh,
a ride.
that sounds like a
and
great
then he just
idea.
grabs him.
I know.
That whole sequence there was like pretty upsetting.
Yeah, it was.
Good.
And scary.
And yeah, it was pretty scary.
I didn't understand why when he went back to the apartment, so after Isabella's naked there, and then he goes back to the apartment and he sees Ben and the yellow guy dead there. What happened? Do we know?
There was a scene that was written but not shot there. Yeah. The yellow man was apparently, he went there to he was like hitting on Isabella Rossellini's character, and Dennis Hopper comes and is jealous and shoots him and hits him in the head with a bullet, and it knocks out the part of the brain that can make him move around and stuff.
Oh, but what about Ben?
But it's so much better like this, because you're just like, what the hell is
Ben
this scene?
doing there? Right? The other guy was there too.
It was Endgame. They had just like they were going to kill the husband. They were going to Yeah,
Oh.
it was the end of.
Oh
their
wait, no, it was the
kidnapping.
husband who was there, right? I guess husband
In the chair
yellow
with the
guy and
ear
husband.
gone.
Right. I'm sorry, I got confused.
Yeah.
I thought it was the Ben guy. Okay, cool.
But the way that was set up, like, I forgot about that scene. It's so weird when like the radio goes off and he hits the lamp, and you're just like, "What the
Right, he's
fuck
just standing
happened
there.
in here?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Kept you guessing for sure on that one.
It's like, was that an accident, or did they like pull the part of his brain out that let him move around?
I don't know.
What happened?
It just shot him.
But it was supposed to be
or
a
shot him
ricocheting
and he just
gunshot
ended
from-
up standing up, leaning against something. So just dead standing, sort of.
The same thing with like, I mean, the imagination goes wild. Like in the scene with that guy who sings the In Dream song. What is everyone doing in there? How are all these old ladies okay with what's happening? How deep? How long have they been in the
What is
business?
this?
Where
Are
they're
they
like-
all? Maybe they're just all like. Maybe he just sells drugs, and they're just all people.
He's the
that,
drug dealer.
Like,
He's
hang
the
out
drug
and-
kingpin. Yeah, they're his servants, basically. I think.
Yeah, like, or maybe they're like his aunts or something, and they're just like, yeah.
So there's no sexual aspect of them, no drug aspect of them. They're just his
They're
assistants.
just there for his
they're helping him
servant.
take care of
Yeah.
that
to help keep
other-
guard of the people they have kidnapped in
Right,
the room,
right.
to do any type of secretarial work
Yeah,
he needs
yeah.
done.
Yeah, right.
Fucking creepy.
It is creepy how they're all just standing there.
clean.
Cook? Oh, yeah.
And like Dennis Hopper's character's coming in there like this is some big party, and it's it's not like you've got a bunch of like young sexy people dancing or whatever. No. You just got these
Because that's
Or-
again
bunch of
the
fucking
reality
weirdos.
of
Ordinary
weird
looking
suburb
people,
shit.
right?
They're
Yeah.
not good looking people.
Right.
They're,
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah. It was very, very unusual to be like that. You'd think any other movie, and it would be like you'd have a bunch of like young hot girls in there or something, just to sort of like make it more interesting. They're a drug dealer having a party. It's going to be the party place that Dennis's characters go to. So, we're going to have some flair here. We're going to have something that's appealing. No, it's just really like, I don't know, it just could have been other than.
But then the guy starts singing, you're like, oh, this is pretty fucking
then
good.
there's that.
I'd
right?
watch this.
Yeah. So it is, again.
No wonder people hang around this guy.
Yeah.
He's suave.
He is suave.
You'd say certainly unique, right? Like there's nothing like this, right? I guess.
Other David Lynch movies.
Well,
Yeah,
I know,
wait till you
right,
see the
of
others.
course. No, I'm talking about his style, and so then I'm
At
trying,
least now, when you go into the next one, John,
Yeah,
you'll
I
know
will.
that
I'm
this
trying,
is going to
I'm
be a
trying
little
hard,
bit
guys.
Now I'm worried about the next pick. I was going to go straight into Mulholland Drive. I'm not sure that's the right
Ooh,
call.
I don't know. Why not? I like that's a good one.
Just into the deep ends?
Yeah.
Just straight into the deep ends?
Fuck yeah.
All right.
Now,
Yeah.
because it's good. We ripped the Band-Aid off. That was your like entrance into
But
David
is
Lynch,
it-
and that
is
like
it-
now you know that it's all kind of metaphorical symbolism.
I'll try.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll give it a shot. I'll try to know. Like, just don't take it at its surface, and
Right.
and to know
This
that-
one's easier to do that with because good luck making sense. of
Right.
it.
Well, and
Yeah.
the idea being like, if anything seems stilted or artificial, then it's the intention, not that it. And that's something that again I was not ready for. So yeah.
It's a weird thing for sure.
I mean, it's a hard thing to do in movies when you're trying to like make a statement on something, and that's your intention more than it is to tell
Well,
a good story, right? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could
It's
argue
a really hard thing to do.
it is. I mean, and you don't have to do this as an artist, I guess, and that's fine. But the idea too is if you have a message and you have a tone and you want to set something, then in some cases it's a good idea to be able to lead your audience there.
You want people talking about it for
Right,
decades.
right, I know.
We're still talking
so
about
it doesn't have to.
If it was an easy message, we would have
No.
digested it and moved
but
on.
the
Moved on.
idea-
Yeah, that's
well,
true.
but
That's
the
a
i-
Transformers movie
It could
or
be,
something,
but
you
the
know?
idea is that
Yeah.
you could segue, or you could allow for a little bit of, an introduction, a way of helping your viewer, like me, if help me understand where this is going, instead of just like
No, you need
give a
you need
fuck.
abrasive movie nerds like me
Right.
to be like, no, I want to tell you what David Lynch thinks. And be like,
Right.
oh my god, I
And
can't
that's
fucking
fine.
stand these movie
And-
nerds that think
Yeah.
they know what they're
Yeah.
talking about.
There's certain that doesn't necessarily. Sometimes that works well, and sometimes it doesn't work well. Sometimes what you need to be done is just throw in the deep in the pool, and you're not going to explain yourself because that would make it worse. So arguably, it would make the work worse if they were trying to help you understand that this is artificial, that this is not real, that this is like the fucking bird is supposed to look fucking fake. And I didn't know the fucking bird was supposed to look fucking fake. I thought this is the most fucking fake bird I've ever seen. I can't believe I didn't understand the film well enough at all to think that was intentional. I just thought this is some fucking bullshit here. I didn't know.
That's funny.
I know, right?
That's funny.
So,
and you
so
didn't
again,
notice that it had the beetle in its beak from the beginning?
Yeah.
Where
I know.
Good triumphs over.
But it's like
evil?
a bird that I don't know, like some 7-year-old might make in art class or something, just stuck there, yeah. Anyway, arguably, you could say well, if you have a message and it's important, do you want to reach as many people as you can, and do you need to help them see or
not if you're an
the
artist?
message? And if you're an artist, I guess not. Just no, this is what I express, and fuck you if you don't get it. I don't know.
Exactly.
And honestly, this is all he knows how to do, right? Like he's kind of making it up as he goes along, and this is what his gut tells him to do, is to make it like this. He's not I mean, we might get into it more, but I don't think he's doing this intentionally with a bunch of options in front of him.
Right.
His movies are consistent in this way, where it's this is him. This
is his perspective and the way he sees things and how he wants to do things.
Yeah.
And so
this is how he thinks movies should be made.
Right. And so there's probably not even a sense of the way I see things, the way he sees things is different than others. He's not even thinking about that. He's like, this is just me and my perspective, and I'm going to show you that. And I'm not worried about you understanding my perspective even. I'm just presenting my perspective. Right. So, and that's the way that works, or the way it comes across for sure. It's there's no consideration for me, because I had no runway. David Lynch was not being considerate of me. He was not helping me out.
David Lynch was not a huge box office contender through his career.
I mean, this was an Oscar nominee, not an Oscar winner.
Well, Dune. But Dune was because it was adapted. that's very straightforward.
Dune also, there was studio meddling. That was a huge disaster.
Really? Is there a director's cut of that, I guess, where there wasn't studio meddling? Because that might be interesting.
I think they were in there during the shoot.
He's just kind of fucked from the beginning. Because that would have been interesting to see his vision of it, and not, because it ends up at the end of the day being an odd but very straightforward film, as far as if you've read the book especially, it's where it's all going. But yeah,
they wanted Elephant Man Lynch. And you don't get Elephant Man Lynch ever again.
What happened with Elephant Man? Was that also him just trying to be straightforward or make a movie the way he thought other people would want him to make a movie? Or
I forget. We did that was what, 6-7 years ago.
Yeah, we didn't really. None of us really cared for it. It wasn't really it was just okay. I think we weren't really I don't remember any of us being yeah, this is really good.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I remember the gas lights were really good. That they had a bunch of lights that were powered by gas. That was pretty cool. But that was that's all I remember.
But this was the movie he did directly after Dune, and he liked it a lot more because it was a way smaller production, and he could actually control it, which he prefers. It was a group of people in buildings that they found. A lot of it was found locations. That corridor going up to the apartment building, place still exists. They shot the special features in that stairwell, which is kind of sweet. The cinematographer that worked the Steadicam for those shots worked on every single David Lynch movie from this movie on, because of how good he was. There were shots of them going down the stairs, and the dude would have this heavy Steadicam on his chest, and he would be on the steps, leaning forward, and just getting the perfect shot, despite being off balance and having this heavy shit on his back, over and over again, take after take. So collaboration forever after this one.
Wow. Trivia.
All right, what you got?
They had a $10 million budget for this movie, and during pre-production, it was canceled because they're because Dune did so bad. And they're no, we can't.
Dune was a huge flop, right?
Huge flop. And it was a huge budget movie. It was a big fail.
Wow.
David Lynch took a price cut. All of the actors basically worked for free in this movie.
Wow, shit.
The producer, who we worked with a bunch, David was like, I'll take a price cut if you give me final cut of the movie. And the producer was like, I can't put that in your contract. Otherwise, all these other directors will ask me for the same deal. So I can't have it written down, but I'll shake your hand right now and let you have the final cut.
Is that De Laurentiis, right? Or
that sounds right. Yeah. Is that from Wikipedia, John?
No,
sources.
Yeah. De Laurentiis was the production company.
Yeah. There was one guy who was they're good friends, and he shook his hand and he kept his word. So Lynch got final cut on this one.
Wow. The De Laurentiis Entertainment Group was what was what distributed So yeah.
Yeah. So good on them. If you were to guess who, well, this is going to be a really hard one. They had somebody else in mind to cast for the Isabella Rossellini character in this movie. You'd never be able to guess. Should I even give you a second to try? Late 80s. No. Helen Mirren.
Ooh.
Okay.
Mike
was the first choice.
Oh my goodness. She probably would have been fantastic.
Yeah. And the studio really wanted her, and the studio really didn't want Isabella Rossellini.
She probably looked at the script. Helen probably looked at the script and went, "No, thank you."
That's exactly right. Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was a little too much.
This doesn't make any sense. And the whole baby wants to fuck thing, I'm not okay with it.
Yeah, I don't.
And also, Dennis Hopper did not improv. There was almost no improv in this movie. All of that stuff was written.
God damn.
In the script. Yeah.
Because I thought about some of that. I'm like, these are the moments too where, like, as the writer, it's kind of like, what were you thinking?
And if nobody is sitting there explaining David Lynch as you two have so eloquently done to me, and I was looking at that script as an actor, I'd be like, I don't think this is a good career choice. I mean,
dude, Isabella Rossellini during that first rape scene, David Lynch was giggling off set the entire time they were filming that. She went up to him multiple times and be like, "Why are you laughing?" And he's like, "I think this is funny. I don't know why."
Oh my God.
Wow.
This dude is messed up.
So whenever she watches that scene now, she laughs because she remembers Lynch laughing behind the fucking camera.
It's almost like nervous laughter, probably, too.
No. He's enjoying himself. Come on.
He might be.
He's a messed up dude.
The thing is, like, if he hides it really well. Like, Dennis Hopper talked about how there's a lot of instances of the word fuck in the script. And whenever he wanted to talk to Dennis, he's like, all right, when you say this word, and Dennis Hopper would be like, fuck, just say fuck. And he's like, this word here, when you say this word, he wouldn't say fuck on set. He's like a super nice guy.
Like very repressed or something, maybe like very Puritan or something. I don't know.
But he's very put together. He's very nice. He's kind. He's normal. Like, he comes off as a normal, nice guy. And then he makes the
Crazy
weirdest shit you've ever seen.
Yep.
So it's hard to say, like, no to him.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, like, what this scene, the first scene between Isabella Rossellini and Dennis Hopper was that rape scene, and they needed Isabella to take her underwear off because the strap was getting in the shot. So Dennis Hopper, who had never seen her before, the first day they were shooting, was staring straight eye level into her vagina from 2 feet away during that scene, where he tells her to spread them and then gets down there. She is out there.
Oh my goodness.
And she talked about how uncomfortable she felt. And Dennis Hopper, this is his first movie off of a long stint in rehab. He had like a bunch of drug and alcohol problems before this, and he was clean for this movie. And when she was just like talking to him about it, she's like, I feel really uncomfortable. He's like, don't worry about it. From like my life, I've seen it all. Like, do not worry.
Look,
I've seen it.
All right.
He's like, some of this that I'm doing right now is actually from real stuff. So.
That's how we got hired, because they couldn't find a person to be this Frank character. And Hopper called Lynch. He really wanted the role. He's like, dude, I am Frank. You have to hire me for this. I am
would
him.
say that?
Hopper.
An actor.
I mean, nobody who else, I guess, right?
Do you see how good he was in this movie?
No.
Where do you think he's pulling from, John?
Like, right. I mean, well, he's, again, given the life he led, especially with the addiction and stuff, when he's just out of control, I'm sure he's like, I've been there. I know what that is like. I know what it is like to be messed up. And looking at Wikipedia, Lynch had a relationship with Rossellini and lived with her between 86 and 91.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe that's why he wanted her. The studio did not want her because she'd only been in one American movie so far. She was a model in some other country. But yeah, she was not a known actor.
Was this her like springboard? Because she got everywhere. I mean,
this was her springboard. Yeah.
Wow.
People didn't like her. Like you're saying, John, some people didn't like her acting, but some people really did. Some people thought it was really brave. Some people really didn't like how brave it was, despite how weird the movie was. You should go and watch the Siskel and Ebert review. Because I think that really exemplifies what this movie does to you, because it's upsetting. And what Ebert really hated it, because he was upset and he didn't like it how he felt like the movie didn't justify the content.
Me and Ebert. Props to me and Ebert. I love it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. But then Siskel was correct, being like, it wants to elicit this reaction out of you because
it did exactly what it wanted to do.
I know. Siskel's like the egghead going after them.
And Siskel actually, Ebert put some words into Isabella Rossellini's mouth, and he felt bad that the movie made her do these things, and the movie wasn't good enough to justify her doing it. And you're like, dude, she's an adult.
Right.
She's an actress. Yeah. She's fucking fine. All right. Yeah. It's not like they're actually raping her. The fact that you think that this scarred her is a testament to how good this movie is.
That's true.
Because of how it comes off when you're watching
Right,
it.
he didn't know that Lynch was there,
Like
giggling,
it made you
lighting
feel
up
that way,
everything
and
the whole
that's
time.
the whole fucking point.
It's fair.
Yeah.
It's a fair point. It's certainly. I mean, the idea, the ability of it to be thought provoking is impressive, and there, it's not thought provoking just in its shock value. It's not just that kind of like. It's not just I don't know, like puppy killing or whatever.
We're on to killing now. We're not just kicking puppies. Jesus.
Well, I'm sorry, puppy kicking. Let's go with puppy kicking.
There we go.
Sorry, that's a little
Good.
softer. But the idea is, it certainly doesn't feel that way either. Even as watching it and not getting it, I didn't feel like this is just exploitative or something. It didn't come across that way at all. So there at least.
And I think
that.
that's because that she was under duress. Where her kid was kidnapped.
I mean, her character too is shown to be under duress, but also somewhat enjoying things. Even with the Dennis, with what Dennis offers.
I didn't actually. I mean, that came across to me. She's so out of her mind that everything she does isn't necessarily what she would normally want.
Or if she wasn't in the situation.
Somehow pain has become pleasure, and it doesn't. I mean, somehow that switch is flipped for her, because it even looks like even as she's being assaulted, that there is some element of enjoyment on her part. And again,
see, isn't that really what they're trying to say? Because it's like, when you start diving into that world of the underbelly and then getting more and more into it, you start to forget what it's like to be part of that normal society, and you start to enjoy those things more.
To its credit, though, too, I think it's not. It's not leering. It's not like being that voyeuristic in the sense that we're getting off on this as like the way the film is looking at it, and that's actually kind of
the direction. The direction was to be violent and frightening in those scenes, and not titillating. Specifically, not
that comes across. That's important, I think, because even where you have your main character being titillated, that's not coming across through the film that we're supposed to be titillated, right? And I think that works. That would have been a really bad call. Where it
would have been even way more upsetting.
Well, not just upsetting, but just disgusting. Where basically what we have,
where
here,
it's like David Lynch likes this and he wants us to like it too.
We have the professional scenario here where somebody else is living out their fantasies through a film. And that's when you really put it, when you put it all together, that starts to be really creepy. That's not what comes across here. Like that sense of
Woody Allen, John.
Right. I was say,
instead of dumping on the professional.
Same thing. Once you make that connection, once you start to feel like that filmmaker is living out some fantasies through their art, then it starts to really be uncomfortable, and not in an artistic way. Not in a way that like adds anything. It's a way that starts to just feel sick. Right? Yeah. That doesn't happen here. And that's impressive, I guess, because it would have been easy if this is more, and that's a really fine line to walk. The idea that he's not getting his rocks off by seeing some people suffer. He's trying to make a point about like the darkness in people and the sickness that is sort of like there even in this like normal suburban place, right? He's not trying to get off on it. And that actually is, even though his main character is kind of getting off on it, that's pretty tricky sort of path to walk, right? So yeah, it's kind of cool.
It's like just opening up a world of like there are different layers of how fucked up people are.
Yeah. Yep.
And even people who live a normal life,
right?
They could be like these other people given the opportunity.
Like the cop.
So that's the idea.
Right? That guy fell into it somehow and continued down that path. Mm-hmm. And you wouldn't know that since he's partners to the good guy who's actually a good cop and a good father.
Right.
I
had no idea. I was expecting at some point even the dad was just going to turn, and that was going to, I had no, given the way things were going. And again, maybe that's a credit to the film that I did not have any idea who would be bad at this point. I thought her dad as a cop could have been at some point turning on the main character and shooting him or something, because you didn't know at that point who was good anymore. And so that again is another sort of credit to the film in the sense that that's kind of the idea, right? Like her dad could be bad. Everybody's bad. Like the two leads here have this attraction to this darkness in them, right? So there, see, look, you guys are getting me to there.
Yeah,
we did it. This is good, John, because we're doing 3 more Lynch movies. So you got to get into
And
the,
now
you know.
at least you can
I'm gonna
like
try.
approach them
Maybe I'll do
with
better. I'll do
understanding.
better. I'll try.
Right.
At least next time when you're watching it, you're like, I'm not enjoying this. You can think right after that, well, that's my fault.
No,
it's my fault for not enjoying it.
I'm the problem.
That's not what I thought you were going to say, Denny. I thought you were going to say, like, now you can think, okay, what am I supposed to be interpreting here?
Right.
instead?
No. The key is,
No, John. It's your fault.
No.
Yeah.
The key is understanding that these things are intentional, and I did not come into this knowing.
Well, and the trick that I have with Lynch is if you have something that's making you feel a certain way of like, I don't get it, look at the framing of the shot, look where the characters are standing, look around with like how he's showing you something, and then
This is
try
what
to
I wanted to bring up
reinterpret it.
too. We didn't talk about the sound once. Listen to the sound too. He has a lot of ambient stuff in
Right.
his movies. And it's weird, like he takes it all from the
not a lot of score, right? Hardly any.
No,
Not
it's
a
a
lot of
lot of
score.
like just music that exists already. Like
Alan Splett is the name of the guy who does he's the sound designer is what they call it, but he does a lot of the soundscapes, score, whatever you want to call it. They call him the sound designer. He worked with them on Eraserhead, and he is the reason that movie works in a lot of ways. And a lot of the weird stuff happening in this movie, a lot of the tonal stuff that makes you feel a certain way is the sound stuff too. And it's weird that we didn't even bring it up because when I'm watching it, I notice it all the time, but we didn't mention it because it works freaking well, I guess.
you don't notice it.
Yeah, no, it just is
Yeah.
like embodied in the film. You don't like notice, I think
It's like industrial sound that's just like, it's like humming in the background a lot of the time. And it gives this feeling of like uneasy dread for a lot of it.
like a weight.
Yeah. It works really
not
well.
Like a
it makes
Brian
it
Eno
very
song
strange.
where you're like, look at this fucking montage, man. You
Yeah.
know, like it's fucking, it's like, you know,
This is
almost-
like I'm deep and I can't get out. Is how
right.
It feels.
Or I'm just lost and I'm confused. And this is like, you know, like you said, dread is the right word for it.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, do you even like? Can you even think of the sounds, John, or was it so perfectly fit in there that like you can't even recall?
No, other than the songs, which also were well done or well selected. No, you can't. I don't even think of a score. I don't. There's no
Or
score.
like when he shows up at the apartment and you hear that buzzing from the broken TV.
There's just atmosphere. It's like ambient. The sounds that are there are ambient. It's not a score. It's just, but it's like exacerbated ambient. It's like it's not.
It's designed. They don't actually pick up sound where they were, but it sounds like they did because they inserted all this stuff this guy created into almost every single shot in the movie. It's fucking awesome.
It's good. I mean, it is.
The movie is crazy because I see
I've
where you're
seen
coming
this
from, John,
multiple
with the
times
acting.
though too, and I
So
think
have I.
maybe the first time I might have been kind of where he was too. So
Yeah. Because, I mean, even the beginning, it kind of throws me off. I know where it goes, and I'm expecting it to be more like the second or like the last 3/4, the majority of the movie. But like the beginning, when he does the chicken walk, I also remember that pretty vividly.
Yeah.
And that's really out of place from like the rest of
Wasn't
the
it?
movie.
Yeah, it was
it was
funny.
so random.
But him trying to impress. I mean, that actually was a rare sort of real moment. He's trying to impress the girl. That seems genuine, which is unlike a lot of their other interactions, which don't seem genuine.
And that's just that's a ballsy, confident move right there. Doing something stupid and silly like that. I mean, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else we got? Laura Dern was 18 years old when she filmed this movie.
Yeah, Jurassic Park
This
girl.
is not her first movie.
I was wondering where the hell she was from, how she looked so familiar.
She was like a kid actor.
Yeah.
She had movie roles before this, even
wow.
before she was 18. So she's been acting forever.
Wow.
She certainly captures the all-American girl look, like just this, like exactly what you'd think of a suburban, like American girl sort of look. It's almost a caricature the way she presents herself.
If you watch this movie and Jurassic Park back to back, when she makes that frown, when she cries,
I know.
she frowns.
Yeah.
But then there's the scene in Jurassic Park when she runs away from the velociraptors, and then she gets to close the fence behind her, and she's crying, and
She does not look.
She has the same
I
exact
know,
face.
She does not look that different. Like when you look at her in Jurassic Park, she does not look that different from when she was 18.
No.
Yeah. So
She's still acting. She's in tons of shit these
no,
days.
she's great. She was.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Again,
I have a friend who hates her. It's actually pretty funny.
How? Why?
No, why?
I don't know. It's hilarious because he hates her for
makes
like
no
no good
sense.
reason.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe
nothing-
he
there's no reason to
maybe he
dislike
hates
her.
the-
Yeah, whenever we're talking about movies, and he's like, "Yeah, that person wasn't great, but she was no Laura Dern," and you're like, Laura Dern again."
Maybe,
God
maybe
damn
he
it.
just hates the idea of the iconic suburban blonde high school girl because she just sort of represents that. I guess I don't know.
maybe.
But not in Jurassic Park. I thought she was just sort of more. I don't know. It didn't seem that way. I don't know.
She was well cast in that movie.
Oh yeah, I think so.
for sure. But yeah, producers did not want Isabel Rossellini in the movie. They wanted somebody else that had a career, that they knew could act, that could speak English,
But nobody else
Like-
would want it.
and that could sing. Isabel Rossellini.
No,
I don't know what
she
you
was
guys thought
doing
about
a
that
Nico.
scene.
Nico.
She was doing a Nico, wasn't she?
Totally a Nico.
I honestly, I watched this and I'm like, I kind of like it.
In a Nico way.
Right?
It's like that's the same fucking thing. It's like,
But it's supposed to be bad.
yeah.
And it's supposed to be that she's just so attractive that everyone's there for her anyway.
And
but
it's like
weird
the
too because she's not
presentation
that
of it.
attractive.
No, but she's not. No, that again is what is hard to accept. But again, there's this artificialness about everything. Again, any other movie, she would be allowed to be more beautiful. She had this sort of like frizzy wig that
But
she
that's
had
Lynch
to
not
wear.
understanding anything. He's like, why does everyone like? He's looking at like people singing normally. He's like, why does everyone like this? I don't get
know.
it. She's not, like they don't look good and they don't sound good.
Isabel
to me. I don't get it.
Rossellini can be beautiful. She doesn't have to look this way. They made her look.
This was intentional.
I
She was on board with this.
Yeah.
Like if you hear about any stories about how she was like treated on set, she was treated fine.
Yeah.
This is a movie.
Yeah.
This is not a snuff film,
right.
Like if
right.
people talk like, "Oh my god, I can't believe they did this to her," and you're like, "Fuck you, you
Yeah.
sexist fuck."
Right.
This is a movie.
Right? Like
No, it
this
was
is a movie.
But
She's an actor.
At the same time, so she is intentionally made to look less attractive than she could be. Intentionally
Yes,
made.
she wanted to look like a piece of raw beef hanging up in a butcher shop. Was what she wanted to look like.
What is that a quote? Jesus.
Yes,
Wow.
from Isabella.
Oh,
And it was after that was her idea. Like her and David were on the same page about how unattractive she was supposed to be, and that was her idea. Like that was her
Right.
what she thought
And
of herself.
that-
Whenever she was like naked or in underwear, she's like, "I am a raw
Right.
beef."
And
that's what
that
I
is
am.
really different. I mean, that's an interesting in itself because most films would not do this. Most films would go for the attractiveness piece. Even if you're serious and you're artistic and you're trying to say something deep, you'll still go for the cheesecake. You'll still like, well, yeah, but we'll still make her look beautiful because she's beautiful. And Isabella can look beautiful, and so, or she is beautiful. But so that again is really interesting that they will choose this angle because you can please your audience this way. Even if you're trying to say something deep, you can still choose to please your audience and go ahead and
point.
make her look.
Yeah.
I know, right? But
Yeah.
but it's really interesting that
It's almost like, what can we do not to please the audience?
right. Yeah.
Because that'll make the point drive home more
Yeah.
in the long run than it would just to like take
it's
that
really
cop
weird.
out for the audience.
Yeah, it's different. I guess I like this. I mean, the idea of David Lynch, like we've kind of tried to talk about this before, and I've tried to say it too before. But the idea of okay, so you have an artist, and yeah, they have a style and they have a message, but then what they also want to do is figure out how to convey the message to the audience in a way that the audience will be able to understand it. Okay, but then you have an artist who doesn't give a shit, who just is like, no, like I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to convey what I want to convey, and that's it. I'm not going to try to bridge the people with what I want to convey.
And I'm not even sure it's that. It could be that, but I'm
no,
not even sure he thinks
he's
about
not even
that.
thinking about it. He's not even thinking about that. He's not being an asshole even about like, fuck you. I'm not going to sink to your level. He's not even thinking about that because he's just too where he is. Right. So he's just, no, I'm me. This is the film I make. I'm not even thinking
He's
about.
not. He doesn't see like two decisions being like, I can make this make sense, or I could do it artsy
no.
like
He's
this.
like,
All he thinks is this way makes sense to me, and that's how it comes
And
out.
that kind of directness is kind of pretty cool. Like that they're not.
Well, and he's
they're
always
not
in the
trying-
surreal world, right? So he's like,
Right.
if this was a surreal moment
Right.
and your character was doing X,
Right.
this is how I think
But-
your character
but-
should
but-
be.
but there's
And that
not
is
a-
not perfect. It's not,
Right.
whatever. It's what I think it is this. The symbolism I want to show is you're a piece of beef
Sure.
he's a fucked up psychopath, and those two people are in a room together, and go.
But
And like that's
Right,
not
right.
like I need you to do it a certain way so that we can please Siskel and Ebert
right,
on the reviews.
or
totally different mindset.
Right. Or on the other hand, I need to do it a certain way because I am an artistic genius and I need to convey my symbolism to the people. So
It is important. What I'm doing is
right.
important.
There's a lack.
Yeah.
There
Not doing that
seems to
either.
be a lack of arrogance to this that is also kind of cool. It's like. You could do one or the other. You'd be like, I'm trying to reach the audience so I would help them, or I'm fuck the audience because I am so smart. And it seems
That's how I feel a big difference between Lynch and Bergman,
Yeah.
because I think Lynch is a lot like Bergman, but Bergman has that tint of being an asshole, being like, I am awesome.
right, yes,
Yeah, he's like,
am
I'm going to do this confusingly because this is how artists should be. Like, really good artists
yes,
need to be
yeah.
confusing.
right, and I shall
Only a small percentage of people
Right.
can pretend to
Sure.
understand what I'm
Yeah,
talking
right.
about.
You're too stupid to understand bird.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, I shall confound you with my intelligence, and you shall
Exactly,
You shall not
yeah.
like what I do because you are stupid.
Yeah, right. There's none of that with David Lynch.
Yeah, that's kind of. It's just sort of weird.
He's the most accessible art house director.
Well,
I
it's a
think.
weird combination then to have all this symbolism and meaning and yet be very frank, very very plain in this sense of like he's like this is me, this is the way I see things. That's it. Like there's not like I'm not trying to influence you. I'm not trying to say I'm smarter than you. I'm just saying this is what I see. And that's kind of cool, right? And maybe kind of a singular thing for him because I don't know if many artists do this in that kind of sense. Like he's so way out there and so fucked up, but he's not doing this artistic thing. He's not doing this intellectual thing. He's not even trying to bridge the gap then to the audience. Be like, I've got a message to tell that people need to hear. He's just like, nah, I've got some.
This is
sick
my
ideas,
perspective
and
of
my
this situation,
right.
and this is how
Maybe
I'm gonna
that's
show
kind
it.
of the magic
I
of
think
David Lynch. I
Kubrick
don't
does
know.
that too.
What?
I'd say Kubrick does that.
Yeah, I think so.
He
That's fair.
had
That's
enough
fair.
money to like he wasn't worried about box office.
Right.
He knew he had enough clout where he wasn't really worried about like
Kubrick had another thing about him, which Kubrick had a whole meticulousness about him, and
so does
really?
Lynch.
Well, I mean,
Like
well,
something in the special features, they barely talk
yeah.
about the acting
Yeah.
and the script and stuff like that. They mostly talk about the framing and the lighting
Really?
and then
mean-
the production values and the way the colors are and all of the
Seriously.
scenes, like extremely meticulous color selection between all the different areas, the way the movie was cut together. They talk about it's mood, it's colors,
Right.
it's atmosphere, it's sound, it's sets, it's costumes, like it's everything but the acting.
and I don't
is number one.
I don't notice this at all, but that's okay. That it's again, you take something like 2001, and it's easy to see the meticulousness, like fucking hits. I mean, it's just.
because it's going for pristine.
Perhaps second to none. I mean, in terms
Right.
like when you look at some of these Kubrick films, they're like the meticulousness is just so fucking obvious, but in a good way. But yeah, I didn't get that with the Lynch films. I didn't know there was this amount of. I had no. It wasn't clear to me at all that there was this amount of.
And I think it's because 2001 is something that was based on like a real idea.
Well, yeah.
So people in space.
Right.
This is a surreal kind of not based in reality, but not out of reality, and in somewhere in that middle range, which allows him to be a little bit more artistic with the visuals to make it seem dark because that's the surreal world that we're in. And so he's got
the surrealism is the difference. 100%.
but yeah, exactly. And
Sure.
then with that becomes you kind of miss that idea of meticulousness because you're
And Kubrick-
not realizing
oh,
that the surrealism
right,
is
right,
actually
right.
there because of his
And
meticulousness.
Kubrick didn't really go wacky. I mean, he always was pretty anchored, I think, in a sense, even in his weird stories and stuff. Like in Clockwork Orange, it's really rooted in the source material. If you read the book, it does not really. It's not like it's going all kinds of directions from there. So maybe that's another kind of piece that's sort of different about Lynch is just the odd flights that he's going to go to. And yeah,
Plus, as writers, both of them, they're just different people.
Right.
Is like I think the biggest difference is like it's not so much about like how they decide to tackle the medium or whatever. It's just like this is coming from them, and they're different people.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
But maybe there's similarity in that there's a meticulousness and a directness though, because this is who they are and it's coming through in their film. I don't think like I think that
You keep using the word directness. I think you're going to eat that word next movie we watch.
That's fine. But the directness, what I mean is like he's not trying, and maybe he will be later in another film. I'm trying to see this as a good thing. Okay.
It is. You're coming around. It's good. Being that it's necessary because you're going to get.
The idea being he's not trying to manipulate us. He's not trying to either help us see his vision because it's important that we, as the idiots, see his vision, or he's trying to impress us with his artistic ability. So he's not trying to manipulate us. He is simply trying to show us his vision, and that I appreciate. That's good. Like Kubrick doing that is good too. They're not trying to like show how amazing they are or impress us with whatever it is that they're with whatever message or whatever
I feel like Kubrick kind of does.
Maybe Kubrick gets there, yeah.
But similar to Kubrick, he doesn't ever talk about the intentions behind the stories of his movies ever. There's no commentary tracks. If you get him on an interview, he doesn't talk about the story. He talks about like how they shot it, where they were, why they chose the colors. Doesn't talk about the story.
Meaning. Why did he do what he did?
Why is the story like this? Why did that character do that? What, like when we get into the more confusing movies, why does this happen? What happens to this character? Why did you choose to do this? He just doesn't talk about it because it's not important to him, right? Same thing with Kubrick. Like if you explain your intentions, it ruins what he did. It ruins the piece because part of it is to have it elicit responses out of you, get you thinking about things, and then come to your own
him though too
conclusions
that he does not see because his films feel this film feels this way. They do not care about explaining their intentions. He does not care to explain
I agree with all the stuff TC and I have told you what the movie's doing. The movie does not hold your hand to any of that.
So whatsoever. He doesn't.
And if this guy was a one-off director and made this movie, and the only reason this really works is because he's made so many movies, and there's proof that what he did wasn't an accident.
Right.
If this was like the only movie this guy made,
I'm just
then
saying,
you'd be like, okay, he just threw this together in some random way.
I'm just saying that maybe the reason he never talks about it is because he doesn't care. He does not want to talk about why he made the film the way he did because he just made the film the way he did. That does not seem like a topic of discussion to him.
Yeah,
right?
Watch the movie and go away.
Yeah, you take it and experience it for yourself.
Like, here's
I will
why,
gladly talk about the production design.
Right.
Here's why awesome.
Right. Or here's why I constructed the shot to convey the intention I meant to convey. But why I wanted to convey that intention, that's not a topic of discussion because that's what I just do. Right?
That's in my head. Right. That's
it's not
well, and then you'd have to also explain his brain, which he may not know how to talk about.
Don't do that. You know? Don't do that, Lynch. Don't even try. He's probably afraid to.
He probably was. Yeah.
I mean, that's what he's doing. Actually, he's trying to explain it through this art form. I guess this is what his brain is.
So he already did
weird
that.
Place.
So why does he need to talk about it? Because that's not going to do as good of a job as the film.
It's a pretty fucked up place, and I don't know. It's pretty cool that he's sharing it because it seems like he doesn't want this to be in his head. Because he's a nice guy and lived like a pretty normal, nice life, but this is in his head, and he's like, "Shit's fucked up. Shit's fucked up in our heads, guys. Humans are super fucked up."
Man, we should just watch Twin Peaks. I know it's a TV show, but
it would take a year.
That would be awesome.
Hey,
connection.
Connection
to weapons.
That would be a longer time for us to watch Schindler's List. So
that's right. That's why we're going to throw in 8 episodes of Twin Peaks.
All right, back to trivia here.
Let's go.
Connection to weapons. So we talked about weapons. The running was from the picture of the girl running with the napalm and the clothes off. The shot of Isabel Rossellini walking towards the house also influenced from that photo.
Oh, really? Oh,
so
that's interesting.
Yep.
I didn't. That was a
photograph.
pretty short shot. I don't remember quite. That happened pretty quick because so much was going on. I didn't like because the football player guy was there and the car was pulling up. So it was all going on pretty fast.
Yeah. It was just supposed to be like her vulnerability.
Right. She's like stunned or she's just like out of, nutso.
So David Lynch wrote the gas huffing as helium in the script. So he was supposed to be huffing helium and Dennis Hopper
been all squeaky.
Really high voice. Yeah. And he was just going to do it just to be fucking weird, just to be kind of creepy and weird.
But I'm not sure if that would have worked.
I mean, it would have, I don't know, it would have been way different. But Dennis Hopper, being who he is, came on. He's like, why don't we just make this amyl nitrate? And David Lynch was like, what is that?
Right.
And he's like, it's this stuff that lasts for like 1 to 2 minutes and it gets you super fucking high.
Yeah. I had a good 10 years with that, man, and so let me tell you, that was much better. There's no high from helium. So why would I suck helium that wouldn't get me high?
Because it was just a weird thing.
Yeah.
A weird thing that the villain did. That was it.
Right. But yeah, it would have been really strange if he was squeaky saying the things that he did say. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that was Dennis Hopper hopping in there, making the movie better. The scene where they're busting into the warehouse where all the bad guys go, there's a shot of a spotlight on the side of the warehouse, and it has a bunch of factory equipment going, and there's a bunch of sounds that are factory equipment. The shot is just a spotlight and a bunch of guys with cardboard cutouts of factory stuff manually moving them. All the stagehands and stuff were just like moving the hammers and the smokestacks up and down and left to right in front of the spotlight and like putting smoke up and stuff. And they threw it together, and he said 2 minutes they cut out all this stuff to make the scene look more lived in.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then, of course, the sound effects of the factory stuff, it just, sells it. And you probably don't even know what shot I'm talking about, right?
Right.
Because, it's just, it's in there.
It's
It just
blended
feels,
in there. Yeah, exactly. I do not. And it's just like, it's very blended.
Mm-hmm. What else we got here? Isabella not a singer. They spent a long time trying to get her to sing. The day she was singing was the day after she did the nude scene in the yard, and they shot that scene until 3:30 in the morning, and then she had to get up for a 7 o'clock recording, and she didn't want to do it. She wasn't feeling great. She didn't have a good voice. She was feeling pretty exposed, tired, cold. The guy that was supposed to record her was like, all right, what are you? Your voice hurts? Let's get you some tea. You're cold? Let's get you a blanket. And just like took care of all of her like needs and stuff, and then got her to do some takes, and they cobbled together that singing performance. And Isabella's like, I don't know how they got that, because I can't sing like that. Even the one in the movie, he's like, he must have chopped that together from so many takes.
Yeah, well, I mean, we know how that goes.
I mean, yeah.
But she was amazed. She was like really worried about that scene.
Oh, I mean, it wasn't.
That is good for her. What they have in the movie is excellent for Isabella.
It was sort of, again, trying to understand it, it sort of works in the context. She's not supposed to sound great. She's supposed to sound just sort of okay, but weird. And that's what works. Yeah. Maybe I need to rethink Nico's singing.
Nico's great, dude. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, but see? Yeah, I don't get it.
You got problems, John.
Yeah, I do.
Problems.
She's a bad singer. Come on.
Thanks, TC.
Her songs are great.
They're
and it
great.
works perfectly.
They're awesome songs, but she's a bad singer.
And her voice works perfectly.
Bob voice is good. It is not on.
It works perfectly.
pitch.
But it's perfect. It's perfect.
It is way off pitch.
2 more pieces of trivia. They had an ant wrangler. Of course they did.
Yeah.
Of course.
Barney.
Yeah, back when those
You
guys
get
wanna know
Barney.
about
You
ants?
need the ants, you get Barney. You go call Barney. Barney's got your ants.
In between takes, if the ants need a little rest, you throw them on ice.
Is that really what they do?
Settles them right down. They don't move. You keep them in the same spot. Ants on
What?
ice. If you want them to start working, like moving around and stuff, they covered that ear that you see in honey. And then after a few minutes,
That'll
they
do.
defrost, and then they start
it's
crawling
like,
around.
all
But
right.
they stay on the ear because of the honey. You don't want to lose the ants.
That's right.
Wow.
Right?
What a guy.
Yeah. Last piece of trivia. Frank's brains on the ground
Yeah.
in that shot. Real human brains.
What?
No.
They got it imported from West Germany.
What?
You could order human body parts from West Germany in the 80s.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Like from who?
Yeah. I don't know. Some dead guy, obviously.
Yeah, but did that guy have a say? How did this all work?
Yeah, he gets
it's
his
West-
family gets
Germany.
500
Yeah,
bucks.
right. I was
and-
saying, do they before they die say I want my parts to be sold on eBay?
Organ donor to someone who needs it or a
organ
David Lynch
donor
production.
only to Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Yeah.
really? And why do you need that? You just cow's brains or whatever. I don't know, or just not even.
Wait till we get to other movies,
It wasn't,
John. Wait till we get to other Lynch
It
movies.
wasn't like a very detailed shot. You just saw some little bits.
It looked pretty
It
good.
did look good, but it wasn't very.
It's funny
detailed.
because they didn't tell any, like most people. There was one of the documentaries was a bunch of people on the cast and crew, and the higher ups were like, "Yeah, man, we got a real brain," and we put it on there. And then there was some like lower downs that were doing like set dressings. They're like, "That room stunk after 2 days." I don't know what they made that brain stuff out of, but it was really stinking.
Oh,
I'm
my
like,
God.
oh my god!
Like some guy
They didn't
moved
tell
it,
him?
positioned it, not realizing that it's real.
It's kind of mean not to
Yeah.
tell the guys who are working near it that it's like
Real
an actual
brains.
human
Yeah.
brain.
Oh my god.
Well, what are you going to do? Different times,
Different times.
Yeah.
So this movie is controversial, and there are people like John who don't, understandably, not to push you down there, John,
push
but
it down.
this movie takes a little bit of hand-holding. It takes a little bit of hand-holding to get
And
there.
it takes some thought afterwards as well to kind
I
of
didn't get this movie the first time I watched it either, John. It's not that kind of movie. So it is the kind of movie that you kind of need to like invest yourself in. Lynch movies in general, you kind of want to like them, to like them. Right?
Right, or
Unless you're
so you can
automatically
pretend you're smart and be like, yeah, that's really good.
No, just so you can understand how different they are. It's like a different type of movie.
Right.
So if you keep your mind open in that way as we go through his movies, and I feel
try.
like this movie has a 7.7 on IMDb. I feel like if you eliminated the people
like me
that didn't have it explained to them, unfortunately,
like me,
or just were offended, like Naomi walked out because she was so upset about what was going on. This movie would be on the top 250, and I'm going to put it on the top 250.
Oh, I'm putting it on there for sure.
Can I withhold judgment? I'm just not there. It's not fair.
Let's
And
do
just
it.
say no.
Let's do it. Let's do the first withholding judgment so John can see what he thinks about Lynch's other movies, because I feel like that is an important thing.
All right,
to
we'll
see whether
circle
or not
back.
everything we're saying now is bullshit, or if he agrees with us that Lynch is intentionally doing
Let's
this
do
shit
another one
after seeing a few
where
more
I'm
movies.
coming into it kind of having a better perspective than I did. So
I like this. I feel like
All
this
right.
is justified for
Okay.
this.
So
whole
the
thing.
right.
next one we'll ask. We can in retrospectively ask how I feel about Blue Velvet given Mulholland
What
Drive.
we've watched since. Yeah.
Are we jumping in the deep end?
Well,
Are we doing
tell
it?
me. What do you
I
think?
mean, I'm down.
What are
We're
you
either-
guys
so I
as
wanna
my
do-
guides
What
to Lynch?
was your other plan?
So we're gonna do Eraserhead last because that's a good segue into horror month.
That's fair.
Okay.
And then my two picks for his other two movies are Lost Highway and Mulholland Drive.
Yeah.
I feel like we should. The reason I wanted to do Mulholland Drive next is because Lost Highway is somewhat similar to Blue Velvet,
Like it has a,
and I didn't necessarily want to put them back to back. But maybe it would be good to put a similar one back to back. Maybe it would be good. I think that let's do that. If we go Blue Velvet, Lost Highway, Mulholland Drive, and Eraserhead, it'll be a slide towards the nonsensical.
Okay.
Lost Highway next.
Okay.
All right, let's go. That sounds good.
And if not, visit the website.
We're sliding down towards the art house, guys.
Yeah. And that's the end of that. And
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
thanks for listening.
250filmcast.com. John's working on a new website. We're going to renumber all the episodes pretty soon, so it makes sense because right now it's just
all over the place.
our naming sucks, and that's my fault. But
Yeah,
it's gonna make more sense.
whatever. You learn as you go.
Yeah,
8 years in, things
we,
are
we,
different.
we had no
Exactly.
idea where we'd go at the time, so it's not fair to criticize what we were doing. We were
I don't want people to
Look,
guess
John,
whose fault it is. 'cause
Denny
we blame
is
John a lot.
intentional in his numberings.
we
okay?
thought
It
we'd
was
be
all
low.
to
We
make
had
you
no
feel
had no
something.
idea we'd make it through the top 250, and thought that would be pretty impressive. I don't think we had
That's
any
true.
idea where we'd go. So yeah,
That's true.
That's true.
Right.
Who knew that we would just
Things
keep
are
on
coming.
going?
That's right.
Yeah. And
All right.
most of all, thanks for listening. And more Lynch coming up.
All right, thanks guys.
Baby wants to fuck.
Oh.
It's Daddy. Where's my bourbon?
All right, folks. See you later.
Yeah, now it's dark.
Yeah.